So tonight I'm going to make an easy meal, 5 ingredients, and it is something even my kids like to eat. Now you could be a little bit extra and use fresh onion and garlic and spices, but using these 5 will be enough. So you'll need a pound of ground beef is usually what I use, but you know, that's getting pricey now. So it's ground pork tonight, cream cheese. So you'll need pasta sauce of your choice. This is sauce that I made last night that I had leftover. So I usually use like a quart size jar. Then small pasta of your choice. I usually use elbow, and then chicken broth. I use the Better Than bouillon, but you can use pre-made chicken broth as well. Now you'll use the equal amounts of sauce and chicken broth. So if I'm using a quart of spaghetti sauce, then I'm going to use about a quart of chicken broth. I'm going to use fresh onion and garlic. So I will do that and cook that while I'm browning the pork. And then I will also get the water boiling for the noodles. All right, so my pan is preheated. You always want to preheat before you add your grease and before you add your food. It helps to make it not stick so much. So we're gonna do a little bit of avocado oil, and I'm gonna get the onions cooking just for a few minutes before the meat. I usually do about half of a box of the elbow pasta, but I just did everything that I have, and I'd rather have extra pasta than not enough. This right here is the most time consuming part. Just boiling the pasta, which you could do ahead of time, and cooking the meat, which you could also do ahead of time. The rest of it is gonna go pretty fast. So we'll add our spaghetti sauce. I'm gonna fill this up with water, which will help clear out this spaghetti sauce, but I'm gonna use that water and the bouillon to make the chicken broth. And this is gonna be the water for the chicken broth. So I'm gonna turn that up and get it warm. So for bouillon, it's usually about a teaspoon per cup of water. But again, you can use pre-made chicken broth or homemade chicken broth. For cream cheese, you only need half of the block, so like 4 ounces of cream cheese. Okay. And you don't have to add any other spices, but I usually do add some extra Italian seasoning. And I actually forgot to add the garlic. So we're gonna add that now. So this just needs to get up to temperature and let the spices and everything meld together. Cover it and then simmer on low for just a few minutes. So while the soup is simmering, let's talk about how to store the leftovers. So I store the pasta separate from the soup for 4 reasons. 1, if you put this pasta into the soup and then let it sit overnight in the fridge, it's going to absorb all the liquid and it's not going to be a soup anymore. It'll be like a mushy mess. 2, when you go to reheat your leftovers, if the pasta is in the soup, it's going to cook more, and then it's going to be mushy. 3, my kids sometimes like to just eat plain noodles on the side. They'll eat the soup with the noodles, but then they also like to have plain noodles as an option. And then 4, if I made too many noodles, then having it plain allows me to use it for something else, do a different sauce. So keep it separate from the soup. I stored the pasta separate for 4 reasons. One, shit, what was the first reason? Okay, let's start that again. Yeah.